first day of spring, and I just wanna sing to everything that's moving, every single little thing. To them birds flying free, fish in the sea, flowers and trees, every little bumblebee. I wanna sing, ooh, ah, oh.
I'm out on a walk on the fields opposite where we live. Our house is just somewhere over the top of those trees and fields behind me, and there are beautiful blue skies today, and I hope the camera's doing it all justice, or at least the film that I've taken is doing it justice. We're at the end of February, right at the very end of February, and already here in the very southeast of the UK we're beginning to see our usual first telltale signs that spring is on the way. There is so much blackthorn blossom on this walk, which will later in the year have lots of sloes to pick for sloe gin or whatever. I made jam last time. And buttercups, crocuses and daffodils and snowdrops are all poking out of the ground now, as they usually do in February. And the air is still very, very chilly. It's about 9 degrees Celsius today. So I'm going to continue with my walk, but I want to share with you in this vlog 3 of our favourite pancake recipes. So when I get home now, I'm going to make my absolute favourite, which is scotch pancakes. So I'll tell you a bit more about those and give you the recipe when I get home. We're also going to make some traditional pancakes and some Japanese style pancakes as well. So I'm going to show you how to make all of those in this vlog, and hopefully share with you a little bit of what we're doing in these early spring days. Right, I'm back at the house. I find myself alone. Lilia's in the shower upstairs. Dan's gone to go and pick up Phoebe from her drama school. So I've got the house, well, downstairs to myself to do this. So the first recipe that I'm going to share with you is, this is my favourite, my absolute favourite, and it's scotch pancakes. And I wish it was, I wish I could tell you that it was because of my Scottish parents lovingly making me scotch pancakes all throughout my childhood, but that would be a lie. They never did. I came to scotch pancakes by myself, and then at some point, I don't know when, somebody either bought me or gave me, or I bought myself, or maybe I bought it for Dan, I don't know, a little booklet of favourite Scottish tea time recipes. And it has the most basic Scottish traditional recipes in here. It's compiled by Joanna Matthey. And this is the one I use all the time. Now, the difference between scotch pancakes and scotch pancakes and American pancakes are very, very similar in that they're not just flat, almost like crepe style pancakes. They're both quite light and fluffy. But American pancakes tend to be quite a lot bigger, as in diameter. And they also tend to use some kind of fat in the batter, such as melted butter, whereas scotch pancakes don't. And scotch pancakes also use a tiny amount of sugar, a small amount of sugar in the batter, so they are slightly sweeter. And that's the difference, really. As it is, there's only 4 ingredients. We're going to use self-raising flour. This is all in ounces, so I'm going to have to convert it, which I can't do in my head, so I'll put it on the screen. 4 ounces of self-raising flour, 1 ounce of caster sugar, a small pinch of salt if you fancy. I am going to put salt in because I kind of like that salt and sweet taste to them. 1 egg, of which we have plenty because we've got 3 chickens providing them. This is quite a large egg. It was laid on the 21st of February, a few days ago. And a quarter of a pint of milk, So we are going to get started, and I will show you how to make them. And then I'm going to eat some because I'm really hungry after my walk.
to the kids playing hoops, going loop-de-loop. Their rainbow-colored bouncy balls and their ice cream scoops. Got my shoes in my hand and my feet in the sand. I got 20 ducklings in a row like a little marching band. And they sing, ooh, ah,
Okay, now that you've got your batter ready, you want to grease a griddle or a heavy saucepan. I'm using corn oil here. Just gonna grease it like that. And this isn't really a heavy pan. This is the frying pan that works the best for not sticking. It's a really cheap and cheerful one that we used to use for camping. And it just seems to do the best for anything involving pancakes or eggs. So I'm just going to heat that over a sort of low to medium heat. Get my spoon ready. Of course I've got to use my mushroom measure. These were a gift from my friend Charlotte years ago, and I still use them and they make me happy every time. Right, I'm going to turn that down a bit because I can tell it's getting quite hot. So you want about a tablespoon at a time for the pancakes, but in order to test the temperature of the pan, you want to take just a little bit, which I'll just take on the end of a spoon, and drop it like that. And if the underside turns brown in under a minute, you know that the heat is sufficient. I've made a miniature pancake, okay? While that's finishing off, I'll show you what to do to make a normal size pancake. So you want about a tablespoon of your mixture. And by the way, the mixture I just mixed together with a wooden spoon, but you can do it in a food processor. It'd be probably extra smooth then. So put your spoonful of batter, like that, and you'll see that it will start to bubble. So once you start to get the bubbles all over your pancake, at the moment I'm waiting for some bubbles to come up on that right hand side. Oh, there we go. Now that looks pretty good now. So now that I've got bubbles all over, I'm going to get a little spatula and flip it over. Should come away easily if you've got all the bubbles. It means it's cooked on the underside. And then you need to cook that for about 30 seconds to a minute on the other side. Here's my miniature one. Oh, might have left that a bit too long. Oops. Still going to eat it. And you can do more than one at a time. You can start adding the next one, or you can probably, they hold their shape quite well once the pan's up to temperature. So you can do more than one at a time. Just keep adding it, waiting for the bubbles to appear and flipping them until your batter is all gone. Oops. Okay, so based on that, I'm going to say once you flip it over, give it about 30 seconds. I think a minute is a bit too long. Either that or my pan's too hot. I'm going to turn my pan down a bit. Now that we're cooking, I can turn it down. There we go. Perfect. I'd say that was about 20 to 30 seconds on the heat that I've got. Now, to keep them moist whilst you're cooking your batch, you can wrap them in a clean tea towel. It'll keep them a bit warm as well.
Got my shoes in my hand and my feet in the sand. I got 20 ducklings in a row like a little marching band. And they sing, ooh. to the couples in love and the seagulls above and any other living thing or creature I can think of. I wanna sing, I wanna sing. Just wanna sing.
So these are absolutely lovely. Oh, just turn that last one off before it burns. Oh, just managed to save that one. So these are absolutely lovely with just butter and jam. Our favourite way to have them is with bacon and maple syrup, which is more the American way to have them. We really like that. Dan and I went to New York for our first wedding anniversary and we had pancakes, American pancakes with bacon and maple syrup, and we just loved it, and the girls love it too. Obviously Phoebe has vegetarian bacon. So that's what we tend to have them with. But as this is an afternoon snack after my walk, I am going to just have some strawberries and a little bit of maple syrup and have a little sit down and enjoy the peace and quiet for 10 minutes. What do you think of the Scotch pancakes as a snack?
Very good, very good.
We normally have them with bacon and maple syrup, don't we?
Yeah.
But you're just dipping them in pure maple syrup.
Why not?
Why not indeed?
Mm.
Hello, I've just come up to put my pyjamas on. It's about 20 to 6 now and it's time to get my comfy clothes on. The pancakes didn't last very long. Everyone came back from what they were doing and just hoovered them all up. They just dipped them straight into maple syrup, so they were quite successful. And what was I going to say? Why am I here? Oh yes, I wanted to show you some socks that my friend Anna sent me. It was a complete surprise, and she just sent, she's a viewer of this channel and my other channel, and she sent me a little package of just little things that just were perfect, just really made me smile, including these lovely socks which have got lobsters on them. I'm a bit lobster obsessed, and these are bamboo and cotton and they're so soft and I just love them, so I was just bringing them up to put them in the drawer, so I thought I would show those to you as well. I've just realised the window's open. It smells so nice in here because the window's open, so it's been quite fresh. It's been such a sunny fresh day. So it's quite fresh in here, and then the heating's just come on, and I hung a t-shirt on the radiator earlier to dry, so it kind of smells of laundry. And it's lovely. It's just really lovely. And I do struggle, I have to say, it's 20 to 6 now, and it's still very light. The sun is setting, but it is still very light, and I struggle with this transition to spring. As much as I love spring, and the signs of spring and everything it brings, I struggle with the longer evenings a lot. It takes me quite a long time to adjust to them. So this is a transitional time of the year that I struggle with a bit. And then I'll get used to it. And just as I get used to it in summer, it will start to, the nights will start to draw in again. But it's something that I work a lot on to deal with, and getting out into nature like I did today, and noticing the seasons and the changes and the plants and the insects and everything is one of the things I do that really, really helps. I also just wanted to mention the reason I'm sharing pancake recipes is because it's Shrove Tuesday this Tuesday. Today is Saturday, worst day of the week, but Sunday tomorrow, which is the best day of the week. If you can hear that, if you can hear voices, it's people walking past outside, and of course the window's open so you can hear them. What was I saying? Oh yes, so yeah, 2nd of March is Tuesday. It's Shrove Tuesday, which is it's where you use up. Traditionally, people would have used up things such as flour and milk and so on before Lent, and I think it's always is it 47 days before Easter Sunday? I think it's 47. But of course, pancakes are eaten all over the world in all different religions, cultures, countries, and let's face it, pancakes are pretty great, aren't they? I love pancakes. So it's going to be a nice weekend because we're making 3 types of pancake this weekend, and if they're going to be go down as well as that first batch did, it's going to be a successful weekend. Okay, I'm going to get my comfy clothes on. We're going to have Mexican tonight. I'm going to make some vegetarian tacos, and then we're going to settle down and watch Saturday Night Takeaway, Ant and Dex Saturday Night Takeaway, have a glass of wine, and when I wake up tomorrow, it'll be Sunday. You want to choose somewhere to sit and I'll bring the drinks over? You want to sit up here? We are just back from Blue Water because I promised Phoebe that I would take her there. So although we had quite a relaxing start to the day, I wouldn't call Blue Water, which is our local big shopping area, shopping centre.
The bird is in the nest. Ow. I got new trainers.
She's got new trainers. Yes, very flexible.
Pot noodle.
Yes, and then we went and she chose a pot noodle for her lunch. Fruit winders for her lunchbox snacks. All from B&M. Anyway, what was I saying?
B&M.
Yes, so it wasn't exactly relaxing, but we had fun, didn't we?
We had a Starbucks. Arguing in Starbucks.
There's people. We were there really early, like 10 o'clock in Starbucks, and it was really quite quiet. And then this sort of, they looked like a family of about 6 turned up, but 2 of the women were having a right old, proper, loud, shouty argument. It's very exciting. Everyone around them was just sort of gradually leaving, which is what we did. So today's pancake recipe, we're going to make Japanese style pancakes. And I lied when I said that I was going to share with you 3 of our favourite recipes because we've never tried this one before. It's completely new to us, and I'm going to have to improvise with some of the equipment needed. But we're going to have lunch first, and that will be our afternoon activity and snack. So Lilia turned 16 at the end of March, so a few of the things I've been doing over the course of the week have been related to her birthday. Oh, the kettle's going to boil now.
Oh, has it?
Yes, but I can say no more.
Do you want me to make yours?
It's all a surprise. Phoebe's just on her iPad for a little while. Lilia's finished her revision, is upstairs, and Dan is studying up in the bedroom. He is studying for his CIPD qualification, which is a human resources professionals thing. So he does that every weekend. So I'm going to make some Japanese style souffle pancakes. Now this is a recipe from a free magazine, the Asda magazine, which we picked up a little while ago, and I just loved the look of them, and we've never tried these before. So we're going to give them a go. Now it's going to start with baked beans. They're not an ingredient of the pancakes, but the recipe, which looks like this, calls for cooking rings that you use to, they're quite deep cooking rings that you can buy, but it does say if you don't have cooking rings, use clean 210 gram baked bean tins instead. Are these 210 grams? Yeah, roughly. With the bottoms and the tops removed. So we're going to be having beans tomorrow, Monday, at dinner time. So I'm just going to open these now and pop them in, remove the contents and pop them in the fridge. And I had a genius idea. I am so pleased with myself. Excuse me while I feel a little bit smug, because I was thinking, what am I going to put them in the fridge? Because I'm using a lot of bowls from leftovers from last night at the moment. And we need to keep some bowls for cereal in the morning. And then I remembered I used to have overnight oats a lot. I haven't had them in a while. I do love overnight oats. And I always used to make them in the little what are they? The Mammal, raspberry and strawberry conserve jars. So I'm going to put the beans in these. Perfect for popping them in the fridge. That was actually quite a difficult job for me. I cannot bear dealing with beans. I don't mind eating them when someone else has done that bit and warmed them up for me, but cold beans, ugh, blag. No thank you. There we go. So even though the tops and the bottom edges are blunt, just inside the rim, there are some sort of sharp bits sticking out. So I'm going to have to just be mindful of that and be extra careful because we don't want any pancake making injuries. So we're going to want 4 large egg whites. Now we have an abundance of eggs. In fact, we're going to go down and see the ladies in a minute because I'm going to go and give them their vegetables as a thank you for the eggs. 200 grams of self-raising flour, a very small amount of caster sugar. We're only going to need a tablespoon of that. Baking powder, we're going to need a teaspoon of that. We're going to need half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and as well as all of this we are going to need 200 ml of semi-skimmed milk and a little bit of vegetable oil to grease the tins very, very carefully without shredding my fingers. Let's make some soufflé pancakes. It says to heat up the pan on a medium heat and then put your 2 greased cooking rings in the pan. And it's at this point that I'm beginning to feel very nervous that this is going to go horribly, horribly wrong because this is completely alien to me, this process. Okay, I've got to now half fill each of the cooking rings with the batter. So let's give it a go. I'm also worried my batter, where I've folded in the egg whites, looks a bit lumpy, but maybe I don't want to overwork it. So maybe it's supposed to be lumpy, I don't know. Half fill the rings. I mean, I'm only doing 2 at a time. It would probably be better if I was doing 4 at a time, wouldn't it? But I don't need to open 4 tins of beans. Right, I've got to add a splash of boiling water to the pan. This is our straight from the kettle. Add the lid. Reduce the heat to low and cook for 6 to 8 minutes until bubbles appear on the top. It's going to be a bit too steamy to see. Okay, it's been 6 minutes. I've just put the oven on low, so that rattling you can hear is the oven, because I'm going to keep the ones I've completed warm. Let's see if we've got any bubbles. Oh, face full of steam. You've got a face full of steam as well. There you go. So now it says I have to lift the rings off the top and flip them using a spatula and cook for 1 to 2 minutes until lightly browned. What could possibly go wrong? They're not going out. Quite a nice bottom. Just well and truly stuck. Right, I'm going to take it out because I don't want to scratch my wok. Ta-da! It's got a bit of a funny shape. It also feels really dense and heavy. So I'm not sure I've done that right. Okay, so 1 to 2 minutes on the other side. I think part of the problem is I put too much filling into the rings. So on my next batch, I'm gonna do quite a lot less of the filling because they look a lot higher than they do in the picture here. Okay, so second batch I put in a lot less batter, but they still went really high, so they're obviously getting a good rise. But I put in too much water, so the undersides are a lot paler because they've got too much water on them. I'm going to finish these off and see if we can do it third time lucky. Okay, third time lucky. I've given the rings, the baked bean tins, a wash, and I've put extra grease on them this time, like more than I did to begin with, in the hope that that might stop them sticking. And I'm going to fill them to just under halfway because these are a little bit deeper than a normal cooking ring would be. And now this time I'm not going to put in too much water. It says just a splash. And there we go. Put the lid on for 6 minutes. Let's see how we go. Nice colour. Right, number 3 definitely looks the best of all of them, but I'm not convinced that any of them are going to be all that good. Number 1, number 2, number 3. I'm going to put some strawberries on the top. I've got some honey and Nutella on the table. And we're all going to dig in and see what we think.
They're so fluffy!
This is your...
You were very pleased with them.
They are amazing.
You like them?
Oh.
I was half expecting them to be raw in the middle, but they're not. Dan?
Yeah. I can't talk a meeting.
No.
Phoebe wants to go for a walk, so I'm just getting my walking boots on. My old, battered, most favourite walking boots. They're the second pair I've ever owned, and I went to buy a third pair today, and they didn't have them. And I'm really worried that they might have discontinued them, so I'm going to have a look on their website later. So keep your fingers crossed for me. So we're just going to go over to, I think we're just going to go over to the local heath and have a little wander around there. She'll probably climb a tree or two, and then come back and I can start on the preparations for dinner. The pancakes, by the way, were an enormous success. Both the girls' eyes were bigger than their stomachs. They both grabbed 2 and had to both stop halfway through the second one because they're really, even though they look quite small, they're very, very fluffy. So there's a lot going on, but they were perfect with strawberries and Nutella. They were really, really nice. And I didn't think they would be a success, but everyone really, really loved them, and they were cooked all the way through the middle, just light and fluffy. I'd definitely make them again, but I would definitely get myself some proper cooking rings. I think that would make a big difference. Also, then I could do 4 or 5 at the same time rather than having to keep doing them 2 at a time. We've got to go and walk them off now.
If there is something we need, it's a leap of faith. A step away from the comfort zone and be a little brave. So take a look around you. How far can you see? How far do you think you can run, standing on your knees? It's a beautiful world out there. Just don't pass on the dare. If you have the will and a moment to spare, it's a beautiful world out there. be a bit frightening. It's something you don't know. You need a little enlightening. It'll make you grow. It's a beautiful world out there. Just don't pass on the dare. If you have the will and a moment to spare.
It's Monday. It's 3 o'clock. Dan's doing a school run for me very kindly because I'm still editing this vlog and I want to get it done and up this evening. I wanted to say 2 things before I very quickly show you the last pancake recipe. We're doing super simple pancakes, the most basic there is. You probably all know the recipe. I don't have an actual recipe, I just know how to make them. I think most people do. You're going to need 100 grams of flour, 2 eggs, 300 mils of milk, a pinch of salt and a tablespoon of vegetable oil. But before I show you how to make those, because we're going to have them as an after school snack, I've got a couple of things I just wanted to say. The first thing and most important thing is we are thinking of everybody out there who is caught up in Putin's invasion of the Ukraine. I know I have viewers in both Russia and the Ukraine, and I just want to say that if you're caught up in that conflict, we're all very much thinking of you here. And I know I have viewers in other areas of conflict around the world as well. So I hope these videos offer you that little bit of escapism that you might need, no matter what your situation. I've deliberately chosen some uplifting music for this vlog, and I hope you enjoy that. And the second thing to say is that I'm going to move from publishing my videos weekly on a Monday to fortnightly on a Monday for the time being at least. That's because work and life have got really busy at the moment. I'm doing a lot of preparation with the girls' schools and birthdays and so on. And I just need a little bit of breathing space. So instead of every Monday, they're going to be every second Monday. So I'll see you in a couple of weeks. And I've had quite a few messages asking me when I'm next going to do everyday vlogs, daily vlogs. Last one I did was Vlogmas, and I'm going to be doing them again in April, and I'm really looking forward to it, so thank you for asking. Okay, let's get stuck into these pancakes, and I'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
Time is moving fast. I am moving slow. To go, I watch them slip away as far as I can see. I let them roll astray. It did not bother me. The sun is shining through every window pane, bathing you in light, so why should I complain? If there should ever be a storm or a pouring rain, we'll look out through the window pane where the sun will shine again. Time is moving still, and you are here with me. A house up on the hill and a little apple tree. The sun is shining through every window pane. It's bathing you in light, so why should I complain? There should ever be a storm or a pouring rain, wait and look out through the window pane where the sun will shine again. Where the sun will shine again.